We often say that our mission is really that no child should have to walk the painful journey of death alone.
It's a local group that helps children when they could be at the loneliest point of their lives, the loss of a loved one. How you can help. How a simple bump in the doorway of a convenience store led to an incident that has 3 South Texans on the run for almost a year now. Can you help bring them in tonight? And he let a man into his San Antonio home for a night and was thanked with arson. What the alleged arsonist did after that fire that will have you saying, they say you did what? South Texas Most Wanted starts right now. On any given day, there are more than 20,000 open warrants in Bexar County alone. You can make South Texas a safer place. Make the difference. Make the call. Good evening and welcome to tonight's South Texas Most Wanted. You know, there's plenty of ways to legally gamble in Texas. The dog track, the horse track, the Kickapoo Casino down in Eagle Pass. But those 8-liner machines remain very popular and very profitable. And authorities say they may be the reason that one man is dead tonight, and you can help find his killer. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding a man who shot and killed another man back on January 27th of this year. At around 11 that night, the Sheriff's Office says the man you see here shot and killed 36-year-old Jimmy Nunez. This happened in a mobile home on Oak Island Drive, just off Loop 1604 in South Bexar County. The mobile home apparently had been turned into an 8-liner game room. Now, for those of you who may not know, 8-liners are similar to Las Vegas slot machines, and according to state officials, they generate an estimated $300 million annually. But they say much of that money goes to criminal organizations or potential money laundering.
We had a man go inside an illegal gaming operation inside of a mobile home trailer on Oak Island. Once inside, there was a disturbance between the man and our victim, Jimmy Nunez. The suspect pulled a gun and killed Nunez on the spot. We are very fortunate that even though this was an illegal operation, they had lots of surveillance cameras up. As a result, we were able to get video of the murder as it happened, and we also got some really clear shots of what this suspect looks like.
Still, many South Texas counties have legalized machines to generate tax revenue. That's as long as the machines are regulated and people cannot actually win real cash. They can win other prizes, none worth more than $5. Obviously, people looking to win real money are looking elsewhere. The Sheriff's Office believes that's what may have led to the death of Jimmy Nunez. They say this appears to have started out as an attempted robbery. As you can see, surveillance video at the scene captured several pictures of the suspect and also of the truck he allegedly used to leave the scene.
What we need now is for your viewers to give us some information about who this man is. This is somebody who is very dangerous. He has no regard for life, and he needs to be taken off of the streets. With the camera, we were also able to capture an image of his truck in the parking lot. So hopefully that's just another extra piece that will help somebody connect the dots.
If you have any information on this man, call our South Texas Most Wanted hotline at 210-462-1747. Again, 210-462-1747. You can make South Texas a safer place. Make the difference. Make the call.
Authorities are looking for help tracking down these suspects who are currently on the run. 30-year-old Marcus Magnum is wanted for possession of a controlled substance of less than a gram. That is a crime that is punishable by 6 months to 2 years in jail and a fine up to $10,000. Magnum's last known address is on Cross Creek near Walsham and Austin Highway, and he is known to frequent that area on the northeast side of town. And police say domestic violence is not always what you think. 25-year-old Paula Aranda is wanted on a charge of assault with bodily injury of a married person. Now, according to the National Coalition of Domestic Violence, 1 in 7 men will be victims of physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. However, they report that it is a very underreported crime. Only 1/3 of people injured by an intimate partners, men or women, will seek medical care for their injuries. Now, Aranda's last known address is on Edmonds near Riverside Golf Course on the south side, but she is also known to frequent the northeast side near Thousand Oaks and Perrin Vital. Now, domestic violence in Texas can be anything from a Class A misdemeanor to a first-degree felony, meaning the punishment can range from 1 year in jail to up to 90 years in prison. If you have any information on Marcus Magnum or Paula Aranda, give our hotline a call at 210-462-1747. You can make South Texas a safer place. Make the difference. Make the call. For South Texas Most Wanted, I am Vanessa Gallegos.
Sometimes you don't have to go looking for trouble, it just kind of finds you, and sometimes in the most random of places. It's exactly what has the Bexar County Sheriff's Office looking for our next 3 suspects. They say it's one thing to be short-tempered, it's another thing to be short-sighted. You might say our next suspects are both. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding 3 suspects they say were involved in a shooting last summer over an accidental run-in at a convenience store, or maybe we should call it an accidental walk-in. According to authorities, on July 23rd of 2015, a man stopped at the 7-Eleven on Highway 87, that's out in China Grove. When he was walking into the store, they say he accidentally bumped into a man who was leaving the store. That man continued to leave with 2 other people. Here you see our suspects, one in a black t-shirt, one in a blank tank top, and the other one is a woman with red hair. Now, all 3, we are told, got in this gray Dodge Magnum, but they didn't go far. Authorities say the trio circled the parking lot waiting for the, I guess we'll call him the bumper, to come out of the store. When he did, the man says he got into his car and started to drive away and heard gunshots. Authorities say the man's vehicle was hit with several of those shots, but luckily he was not injured. Now, obviously, the person who fired the shots could be facing charges from reckless endangerment to attempted murder, but authorities say just for being in the car. The other 2 suspects could face various charges depending on who was the shooter, who was the driver, and who was the passenger. Your tips and information can help them sort all of that out tonight. Make the difference. Make the call. Still to come, we'll introduce you to a local group that helps children when they've suffered the greatest loss in their lives, how you can help those children as well. And your tips and information are already helping keep South Texas safer, how they may have led to one man featured on this show to simply give himself up. That's still to come on South Texas Most Wanted.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Went over it several times in my mind. Was this the right time for me to retire? Goodwill really wanted to help the veterans that were coming out, and they offered me the chance to go down there and become a part of it. It was a veterans assistance program. It's helped me to reach my goal of becoming a financial counselor. Your goodwill changes everything.
They are a group that helps children at what might be the lowest point of their lives, the loss of a parent or loved one from sudden death, suicide, or even murder. But it's how they help these young people that make the Children's Bereavement Center of South Texas one of our difference makers.
My background or my training is in doing therapy with children and adolescents, like psychotherapy. And 6 years ago, my husband unexpectedly died.
We often say that our mission is really that no child should have to walk the painful journey of death alone.
We had 3 girls that were ages 10, 7, and 2 at the time. So being a therapist and familiar with the services in town, I was aware of the bereavement center, and that was probably one of the first calls that I made.
We work with more than 1,000 children a year who have lost a parent, a sibling, or a loved one. Sometimes it's grandmas and grandpas or a brother or sister. And we try to have them understand what's happened, to help them understand what's happened, to help them create and keep the memories of the person they love, and then also to take that next step and to figure out what does that mean to them and how do they go forward in life?
It was a little scary at first, not coming to the center, just trying to attack that task of how to grieve, how to help your children grieve this huge loss in their life, and what kind of steps are necessary, or what you need to do to help them.
Our center, I wish everyone could come, and they're most welcome to come. It's sort of like a giant playhouse when you look at it. It's 10,000 square feet. We have rooms, drama rooms, art rooms, music rooms, places that they can come and find that expressive arts, that healing through talking, through playing, through music, through art.
When children are grieving, they can't necessarily articulate, I feel sad today, or put into words what they're thinking or feeling. That is why having all of these different ways to help them externalize that, because that's the important thing, is that they get it out.
You were here as a client with your daughters. You're here now as an employee helping people. Did you think it would come that full circle?
No, never. No, it was not anything I ever anticipated.
Are you happy that it did?
I'm very happy that it did, just because the opportunities that I've had and the capacity in which I've been able to work here has just been a gift.
We consider ourselves spiritual but not religious in terms of the services we provide. And it's our hope that when children leave here, they have learned a lot about themselves, as well as really memorialized and cherished the people that they love and they've lost.
A tour of the Children's Bereavement Center is held on the first Friday of each month at 11 in the morning. It's a great chance to see all their services and how you can help. For South Texas Most Wanted, I'm Trudy Stone.
Coming up, imagine serving 7 years in prison and then deciding in the last 6 months to escape. What gave this man that chance? And he gave a man a chance to spend the night at his home and was thanked with arson. What the alleged arsonist did afterwards, that has us saying, they say you did what? South Texas Most Wanted coming back.
Only Film Flickers brings you the latest Hollywood trailers, special sneak peeks, and behind-the-scenes looks at the biggest stars.
And it's also the only place you can win exciting prizes right there in your living room.
Join us for Film Flickers.
Sunday night at 9 on the CW35.
Odds are, if you aren't personally affected by autism, you know someone who is. One child in 68 is now diagnosed with autism, but early intervention is the key, and the clock is ticking for hundreds of San Antonio children. You can help. Go to oneinSixty8.org to learn more.
Who helps a hero? Who tells the story of their scars? Our freedom is defended by the sacrifices of a courageous few. Who helps a hero? We all do. The Gary Sinise Foundation serves America's defenders through entertainment, the construction of smart homes for our wounded, and by encouraging others to support the veterans within their communities. We enjoy the benefits of their sacrifice and service each day. It's time we serve them. Find out how you can help at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
On any given day, there are more than 20,000 open arrest warrants in Bexar County alone. You can help change that. Watch South Texas Most Wanted Saturday nights only on Fox San Antonio.
Coming out of the military, it's really hard to try and find a job. A little fearful of how I was going to take care of my family at that point. Through Good Careers Academy, I was able to find a direction and be able to get into a pharmacy tech program. Your goodwill changes everything.
Raymond Lita is wanted for having an active arrest warrant involving escape from a federal residential reentry center. Lita was sentenced to 84 months in prison back in December of 2007 on charges involving possession with intent to distribute heroin. He was also ordered to serve 5 years of supervised release, but that is not happening right now. In July of 2015, almost 8 years later, Lita allegedly escaped from the re-entry center while serving out the last part of his sentence. Now, in case you're wondering, a residential re-entry center is the official name for what is often referred to as a halfway house, a place where inmates who are nearing their release, about 6 months out, are given a supervised environment, counseling, job placement, and other programs, all of which apparently Mr. Lita had no interest in. The 36-year-old Lita has some obvious identifiable tattoos on his neck and his right wrist. Authorities say he has an extensive criminal history that includes theft, burglary, evading arrest, unlawful possession of a firearm, along with possession with the intent to distribute both marijuana and heroin. If you have any information on Raymond Lita, call our South Texas Most Wanted hotline. Make the difference. Make the call.
Your tips and information make all the difference. And just this week, they helped to lead to the arrest of someone we just featured on South Texas Most Wanted. And it's one of the reasons why these suspects are no longer on the run. Just 2 weeks ago, we featured Brandon Reyes for having an active arrest warrant for allegedly violating conditions of his supervised release. According to the U.S. Marshals Service, in October of 2014, Reyes was sentenced to 4 years probation on charges related to the smuggling of illegal immigrants. This is a crime that is punishable by up to 10 years in prison for each person that is being transported. And if an immigrant is injured while being transported, that punishment could go up to 20 years, again per immigrant. Back to Reyes in October of last year, authorities say he violated the conditions of his supervised release when he was arrested for driving while intoxicated and failed to report that arrest to his probation officer. Authorities say the 23-year-old has a violent criminal history that includes bodily injury, possession of a controlled substance, and evading arrest, but turned himself in after the publicity surrounding his fugitive status. And Benjamin Escobedo has been arrested for indecency with a child by contact. Escobedo was taking his lunch break in his car at a job site south of the city near Pleasanton. That's when he was spotted by local bounty hunters. They contacted authorities who showed up at the site and arrested Escobedo. In Texas, indecency with a child by contact is considered a second-degree felony, and Escobedo could be facing up to 20 years in prison. You are making South Texas a safer place. Make the difference. Make the call. For South Texas Most Wanted, I'm Vanessa Gallegos.
You hear the saying all the time, mi casa es su casa, but not when you try to set the thing on fire. Here's tonight's They Say You Did What?
I'll be the first to admit it, I am not the world's best house guest. I forget to make the bed, I routinely teach my friends' kids bad habits. One time I even flooded the toilet. But even though I've blown up a few bathrooms in my day, they never required the help of the fire department. Gerald Kujawa may not be able to say the same. San Antonio police arrested the 34-year-old and charged him with setting a man's house on fire after Kujawa was invited to stay the night there back in November of 2015. The homeowner says he left his place on Newcastle Drive near Walsham and Perrin Vital around 5:30 in the morning. By the time first responders got there around noon, Kujawa was gone and the house was on fire. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that Kujawa was the one that started the fire. I mean, it's not like he texted the guy and said, "I set your house on fire and I enjoyed and loved setting your house on fire." That happened a few days later, according to the affidavit, along with some other particularly heartwarming texts like, "I set your house on fire on purpose and I hope you die." Dude, if you're gonna admit to setting an arson over text, use a burner. At this point, it's probably worth noting that police say that Kujawa was homeless at the time of the incident, but apparently he still had an unlimited data plan and a very skewed definition of what Tinder is. Police charge Kujawa with arson of a habitat that's punishable by 2 to 20 years in prison, where he could warm up to some new roommates. For South Texas's Most Wanted, I'm JT Street with this week's They Say You Did What?
Still to come, they are fathers helping fathers, or anybody filling that father role. You may not believe what one volunteer does every week just to make sure San Antonio has better dads. And you know, that was actually not a gay hairdresser hosting our They Say You Did What segment. It was a familiar face, though. You may see some more in that spot. More South Texas Most Wanted to come.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Only Film Flickers brings you the latest Hollywood trailers, special sneak peeks, and behind-the-scenes looks at the biggest stars.
And it's also the only place you can win exciting prizes right there in your living room.
Join us for Film Flickers.
Sunday night at 9 on the CW35.
You're a numbers guy? Let's talk stats. More than 220,000. That's how many American men will be diagnosed this year alone with the second most common cancer in men, prostate cancer. That's 1 in 7 men. 1 in 5 if you're African American. 1 in 3 if you have a brother or father that's been diagnosed. Do you know your stats? Talk to your doctor about your prostate health and visit knowyourstats.org today and stay in the game for life.
Went over it several times in my mind. Was this the right time for me to retire? Goodwill really wanted to help the veterans that were coming out, and they offered me the chance to go down there and become a part of it. It was a veterans assistance program. It's helped me to reach my goal of becoming a financial counselor. Your goodwill changes everything.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
And watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Fathers Helping Fathers, Brothers, and others across Bexar County. It's helping children live a better life. It's a free program that is giving men the tools they need to be better role models. And it's a South Texas Most Wanted difference maker.
There's a lot of dads that come here that what we say are broken. And what we do is we pick them up and we show them that they are not broken and that they're here and they're here for a certain reason, and that's for their child or their children. We were able to get funding with the United Way of San Antonio Bexar County, and the Children's Shelter got together and we were able to get the funding, and we started the program in 2008. And in 2008, we graduated maybe 12 dads at that time, and now we're graduating over 50 dads at every graduation. We have served over 1,200 dads since implementation.
Tell me what brought you here.
Actually, I got involved in a CPS case. I was asked to come by the court system. I came in with the program. I wasn't sure about it at first, but as I started to learn and started to get involved with the program, the curriculum, the information that they gave, it has boundless applications. I noticed that.
The program is broken down into 3 components. We have our first component, which is our Daddy Boot Camp. And the Daddy Boot Camp is the first 2 weeks of the program. In that program, you learn developmental milestones from 0 all the way to 18 years of age. We have a lot of dads that come in and say, 15 weeks, that is a long time. But these dads that go into the class get motivated by our parent educators.
Some see the program as a stepping stone, and others see it as, I don't need to be here, I'm a great father. But once they start to learn the information, once they start to see exactly what we're teaching, what we're encouraging, a lot of them actually jump on and go full steam ahead and finish the program, and they want to come back for more. The most important thing that I've learned here is that every relationship is valuable. And the way that you treat that relationship reflects on you as much as it reflects on the other person. A lot of people believe that relationships fall apart because of the other person, whereas sometimes we have to look within ourselves. And that's the biggest part, is be able to heal or change things within ourselves that we see, and then be able to relate to people on a deeper level.
How much does Rashad Smith believe in the program? He moved to Austin for a new job over a year ago and still travels back to San Antonio at least once a week to mentor local fathers. If you know of a person or a group that is making a difference in San Antonio, Give us a call on our hotline or contact us on our Facebook page.
Compadre y Compadre is part of an umbrella of services offered by the Children's Shelter here in Bexar County. We hope to bring you more of their stories in the weeks to come. South Texas Most Wanted. We'll be right back.
Odds are, if you aren't personally affected by autism, you know someone who is. One child in 68 is now diagnosed with autism, but early intervention is the key, and the clock is ticking for hundreds of San Antonio children. You can help. Go to oneinSixty8.org to learn more.
On any given day, there are more than 20,000 open arrest warrants in Bexar County alone. You can help change that. Watch South Texas Most Wanted Saturday nights only on Fox San Antonio.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Let's take a look back at some of the suspects we have featured on tonight's South Texas Most Wanted. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says the man you see here wanted money, but ended up committing murder. At around 11 at night on January 27th of this year, authorities say this man shot and killed 36-year-old Jimmy Nunez. This happened in a mobile home on Oak Island Drive in South Bexar County. The mobile home had apparently been converted into an 8-liner game room. Surveillance video captured several pictures of the suspect and also of the truck he allegedly used to leave the scene. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says an accidental bump at the door of a convenience store led to a not-so-accidental shooting in China Grove. Deputies are looking for the two men in black shirts and the woman with the red hair that you see here. A man says he was simply walking into the store when he accidentally bumped into one of the men. The trio proceeded to go outside and get into this gray Dodge Magnum, but they did not leave. Authorities say they waited for the man to come out of the store, and when he got to his car, someone in the Dodge started firing gunshots. The vehicle was hit several times, but the man was not hurt. This incident happened last summer, but these three suspects are still on the run. 30-year-old Marcus Mangum is wanted for possession of a controlled substance of less than a gram. That can still get you 6 months to 2 years in jail. Mangum's last known address is off of Austin Highway in Walsham, and he is known to frequent that area. And 25-year-old Paula Aranda is wanted on a charge of assault with bodily injury of a married person. Her last known address is on Edmonds near Riverside Golf Course, but she is also known to frequent the northeast side near Thousand Oaks and Perrin Vital. Now, if you have any information on any of these suspects you have seen here tonight, call our South Texas Most Wanted hotline, the number 210-462-1747. Thank you very much for staying up late with us. Check us out on our Facebook page for some clips of the show. Remember, you can make South Texas a safer place. Make the difference. Make the call. I'm Michael Valdez for South Texas Most Wanted. Good night.